A warm welcome back to our series, The Basics. My name's Simon, based here at the Hownhall Shooting School in West Sussex. Now, for anybody who hasn't seen any of the episodes in this series before, the idea is to answer all those silly questions and explain all those little nuances that occur for people who are just coming into the sport of shooting, say just got their licence, just brought a gun, and all of a sudden we've come into all these details and little things that we need to understand. Today's episode is talking about cartridges, okay, and the four main gauges that we currently use. I use the term gauge. It's a bit of an Americanism. In the UK, we also refer to it as bore, okay? So let's stick with the UK terminology. I'm going to use the term bore. Four main sizes. This is what you're going to come across at the moment. 12 bore. Probably the most common. That's the largest size cartridge you're going to see, okay, sort of in physical size, okay. Then you're coming down to a 20 bore. You'll note the numbers getting bigger, but the cartridge is actually physically getting smaller, okay. After that, you're coming down to a smaller size, greater number, 28 bore. That's that one there. And then the smallest size currently that we have, and confusingly has a metric term, and that's this little kiddie, which is called a 410. In old money, that would have been called, say, a 67 bore, but just stay confused. It's a 410, all right? So just to recap, 12 bore, 20 bore, 28, and 410. Now, you're new into the sport, you're going to go out and break some clays. What size cartridge do you need? You may have heard people talking about 32 grams of 4 or this or that or the other. Minefield. Let's try and simplify it. For clay shooting, you really want to focus on between 21 grams and 28 grams, okay? And the shot size would either be 7 or 8. Now let me explain what that means. For example, this 12 bore cartridge is a 21 gram load. So that means, and it's clearly written on the side there, 21 grams. That means that this has got 21 grams of lead shot inside the case. You'll also notice there's a big number 7 and then a half. So it's got 21 grams of size 7.5 shot in the casing. Now, shot sizing is universal. And some fisher people may relate this to lead shot that you use when float fishing, you know, BB, SSG, that sort of thing. So this is number 7.5 shot, 21 grams of. Now, for a clay round, you would normally, as I said earlier, only go up to a 28 gram load of either 7, 7.5 or 8. So think of clay shooting, 21 to 28 grams in 7, 7.5 or 8 sized shot, okay? That follows on through the smaller gauges, although we start to get reduction in sizes on the 28 bore and indeed the 410, which is actually capped at, I think, 19 grams. This one is actually an 11 gram of size 7 shot. Now, anybody can use any gun. It's about stature, it's about body size, it's about comfort, and ultimately it's about gun fit. 410s would largely be used by youngsters, children, people in their, you know, sort of early teens, small in stature and so on. Great starter round. They then might progress to the 28 gauge. Again, just a little bit more kick. Some skip straight to the 20 and some stay with those. And then, of course, if like me, you get bigger, you might then go on to the 12 gauge, all right? But the sizing of gun is related to comfort, usability, and ultimately the individual. Now, you will notice that this 20 gauge cartridge is in yellow. These other 3 gauges come in all sorts of colours except yellow. 20 bore cartridges only come in yellow, and that's for safety reasons. Quite simply, what can happen is a 20 gauge cartridge, if put in a 12 bore shotgun, will become lodged in the chamber. One could then put a 12 gauge cartridge on top, and if you were to close the gun and shoot it, it would have catastrophic effects. So we don't want to do that. That's why 20 gauge are yellow only, and all the other sizes are multiple colours except. Now, just to cut out any other confusion, you may have heard people talking about 34 grams of 4 or all these sort of wild other sizes. They're related to live quarry, okay? Because ultimately, when you're entertaining pest control or you're out in the field, you're always looking for a really clean, humane kill. And for that, you need velocity and hitting power. So there are bigger, there's a melee of bigger size cartridges, okay? But just for simplicity for today, I'm looking at the person coming into the sport, going to the local clay shoot, learning how to shoot and finding a comfortable cartridges that suits them. And this is the basic range in the basic sizes, okay? So just to recap, 12, 20, 28, and our metric named 410. And for clay shooting, one would look for 21 to 28 grams in 7, 7.5 or 8 sized shot. Okay, I hope that's given some help to some. I've been asked this question quite a few times in the past. Please leave your comments. If there's anything relating to this or indeed anything else that we can cover just to keep you sort of in the game and confident, send those notes in and we'll do our best to answer. Otherwise, stay safe, enjoy your shooting.